interesting, factual, and opinionated conversations about
Yes, we have.
the NBA Finals, but we're going to shift gears a little bit and start talking about some of the players in the history of the game, some of the top players. DJ wanted me to give my top 5, which is kind of hard for me. I like to do it by position because I just feel like I should never compare centers of old with point guards and shooting guards. It's just a different game now, but I'm very interested to hear
Just pop the whole thing down.
who
You just
he
pop the
has
whole thing down.
in his top 5. So let's start with 5 and go 5-4, and then I'll go 5-4, and we'll continue from there.
All right. It's on me?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Number 5 for me,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, John Stockton.
Okay. Not a bad pick.
You gotta look at look at what John Stockton did in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he never won a finals because of Michael Jordan, of course.
Okay.
But you look at the end of his career. This man has the all-time records for assists,
Mm-hmm.
steals. I think it's a record he holds in the playoffs. It's slipping my mind right now, but it'll come to me. But as a point guard, his overall longevity
Mm-hmm.
and his approach to the game
Mm-hmm.
made him one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he was Nash before there was a Nash.
Oh, man. Where do you think Steve Nash got his game from?
Exactly.
That wasn't a coincidence. That man was at his house watching John Stockton highlights 24/7.
Okay.
You can't compare another point guard to John Stockton because it's not one. The closest thing you got to a John Stockton now, in terms of defense, production, and overall passing, is Chris Paul.
I was hoping you said that. Okay. I can agree with that.
Of course you can. But I told you they're coming at
He's
you
a
hard
floor.
with the facts.
There's just not any more floor generals anymore.
No.
You're
No
right.
pure point guards.
Yes, Chris Paul, I definitely would say
The
is a pure point guard.
The era of a pure point guard is dead in
Yes,
today's
it's over
NBA.
with isolation basketball. Yes,
In the
absolutely.
3-point shot.
In the 3-point shot.
3-point
yes.
shot killed basketball.
Well, one more with the Pelicans, former championship with Boston.
Rondo. I'll
He's
give
at
it.
the end of his career.
I wouldn't say the end. You look at what Rondo did.
He had a nice year. with
He had
the
a
Pelicans.
really nice year and a great playoffs.
He would be my second floor general as far as if we're categorizing who's in that era of floor generals or point guards.
Of course.
Probably just them two left. I would have to scan the rosters, but
You're not gonna find
yeah,
another one.
those two, yeah, kind
I
of,
guarantee it.
yeah, top, yeah. Even Wall is more of a, yeah,
John Wall, he might not shoot it as often as he could, but that boy can drive to the lane. I'll give you that.
right, yeah.
That man is one of the best slashers in the game right now. That athleticism of John Wall is off the charts, and I just feel so bad that he's stuck on a team that's mirrored in complete mediocrity as the Wizards are.
So let's stay on the point guard topic just for a second.
Go
and
ahead.
then go over. Since he's your top 5 overall, he's probably your number 1 point guard. Who would be in the top 5 of point guards if we looked at the history, even from the 80s? You know, you have John Stockton, who's a pro's pro, as they say it.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be second or third or fourth or fifth? You have to look at a Magic Johnson if you want to say he's a true point guard. You have to look at even a Kevin Johnson. He was a good point guard, floor general as well. So I'm interested to see who you think. God, what's his name with Kobe and their first Fisher? Great
Now
point
you
guard.
reaching now.
No, I mean as far as just floor generals, not slashing Derrick Rose type point guards. I mean purely, I'm setting up the offense. I'm coming down. I'm looking to dish the ball and get our offenses set. Who was great at that?
I still say you reaching a little bit, but I'll let you
With
have
Fisher?
Derek Fisher on your list. He not on mine.
But no. I'm just mentioning examples of point guards who are
Okay.
kind of in that seam of I'm here to set up the offense. I mean, Chauncey Billups. Players like that
There you
that's
go.
not looking to score first, that's looking to
Mhm.
get their team involved.
All right.
So my top probably would be, there's so many players. John Stockton was a great one. Gary Payton probably for me.
We
Was one
going.
of my top.
We going back now.
And the reason why I say one at the top is because he really prided himself on steals and defense. And hard nosed, I'm in your
The
face.
best two-way guard of
Yes.
all time.
Yes.
And I dare somebody to debate me on it.
So that would be, he would be in my top 5 for point guards. Kevin Johnson, some of those seasons he had with Phoenix were almost Hall of Fame-ish when he was there, and they brought Barkley, and they had some good teams. But again, Jordan knocked them out as well.
Who didn't Jordan knock out?
Barring injury, Penny Hardaway was a great point guard during that time, that early 90s with Shaquille O'Neal in Orlando.
A lot of people seem to forget Penny Hardaway, and that's a shame. That's a real shame.
It is. It is. He's coaching now in Memphis. I think this will be his first year. He has a son that's going to be pretty good as well as coming to Memphis. But he's one of those players that kind of started the transcendent of what a point guard should look like, that slasher type role.
He was
back
real
then.
athletic.
He's super athletic.
If those knees didn't fail, we'd be talking about Penny Hardaway in the Hall of Fame right now.
And maybe more
I guarantee.
championships with Orlando. Shaq wouldn't have went to the Lakers. So just players like that. But I'll get back. We'll get back. Who's your number 4
We talking about point guards or all time?
all time?
That's a
I know it's hard. It's a lot of players. You know the NBA.
Because I got my top 3 lined up for you ready, but I gotta figure out who I want to put in that number 4 spot. But you know what? I'm gonna say Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan, great choice. Can't go wrong with that. What's the justification on that one?
There's no need for a justification, brother. Look at the tape.
Now remember, on that same team, you have a David Robertson.
I'm for 1 year.
So here, and I don't know if you remember, I can't remember what year this was. While you're thinking of the 4th, the NBA came out with a top 50 players ever.
And that list was blasphemous.
I think it's dated. I think every 10, 15 years they should update that, because there's been some players like who you just mentioned that needs to be updated and pull into that pool. Maybe they make a new 50 since year 2000.
First of all, whoever was in charge of the last list needs to sit down in the corner and take notes.
I think that was a great list.
Because that they should be
I
ashamed
don't
of
know who was
themselves.
left off that you would think that, but I think
It's
it was-
not just about who's left off. It's the overall order of the list.
Yeah.
First of all, to not have Kobe Bryant anywhere in the top 3 alone.
Well, see, I think he was when that list came out, I think Kobe was either in his first or second year, if that. So that's why I'm saying
What year did this list come out?
and I don't have it. I can't remember. It was either late 90s or early 2000s when that list came out.
Oh, we can't even
So
validate
that's
that
my
list.
point. Every 15, 20 years, you have to account for new people who are
That
the
list
top
is
in
null
their-
and
in their
void.
generation. Yeah, so
That's very null and void.
yeah,
I
so-
can't even acknowledge it. It don't exist to me.
Right, but whenever someone says top 5, it's just so difficult for me to do that, because I look at so many different types of players, the hybrid players, the Vince Carters who will never get their due because they're kind of categorized as dunkers only, but still was great. The Sean Kemps of the world, players like that just kind of changed their position, the power forward position. So it's hard for me to do a top. It's almost like a slap in the face of so many other players when you don't categorize it by position. Because as we're speaking now, we probably went 10 deep in point guards alone. We could do that for shooting guards as well.
You can.
So, you have your
here's-
Reggie Millers.
Here's the
Here.
thing with top 5. Here's what people always seem to place their top 5s about. And it's just rings. It's
And I
more.
have a problem with that.
It's a real
It's a
problem.
team sport.
It is. But here's the thing. I base my top 5 on rings, your overall ability to win games,
Mhm.
regular season and playoffs.
Mhm.
and then the longevity of your career and how effective you were overall
That's
as a
very
player.
important. Yes, very important.
That's why I gotta have, and I'm just gonna name my last three just to
Okay.
get it off my chest, cause
Okay.
I'm finna make you sweat a little bit with the last three.
Okay.
So we got John Stockton at 5.
Yes.
My memory's short. Who did I say was my 4th?
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. There you go. I appreciate you. Show me you're listening. Number 3, Bill Russell.
Okay.
And to speak a little bit on Russell, everybody says, for those ring counters out there, I despise y'all. Because you don't know your basketball history. You want to say Jordan's the GOAT because he has 6 rings. Bill Russell got 11.
Yeah, he has 11.
I didn't say 11. 11. Like my man Shannon Sharp. 11.
Well, I've always had a love-hate relationship with Bill Russell.
Hold up one finger for me, Lamar. Hold up one finger.
I got it up.
That's how many rings Bill Russell got.
Yeah.
Jordan got the jump man. Bill Russell, this is his logo. 11.
11. But you also have to take into account the level of competition. Whenever you see someone win more than, and let's take Jordan out of this conversation, anyone who wins more than 5 or 6 rings, you have to look at the level of competition.
Bill Russell
never
got
should be
those
in
rings
any
in the
professional
60s.
sports, and I know there's dynasties where people will work. You have the Bradys of the world, but even them, they don't go 5, 6, 7 straight. Whenever something's that dominant, you have to check and find out, okay, who are you playing against?
Look back at those years.
And
in
I
the 60s,
can't say it was
early
as competitive
70s.
as even Jordan couldn't do that. 11. You had the Birds and the Magic. So, and I don't have it in front of me. But how many superstars were in the league during that period?
A lot. You
How
got.
many times was he challenged?
You got-
If you won 11.
You had
championships?
Bill Russell. You had Jerry West out there. You had Oscar Robertson somewhere out there. There was
But
a
they
lot of
wasn't
Hall
guarding
of
him.
Famers.
They wasn't guarding him specifically. Jordan got beat up his first few years. You had the Bad Boys. You had the Lakers. You had the Celtics. You had all that. I can't say that Bill Russell had all of that competition back then. Anyone that's that dominant, you just have to look back and say, okay, who are you playing against?
But then the
In
same
my
thing could
opinion.
be said for Shaq.
But Shaq didn't go 11 straight like that.
He
Even
did.
in Shaq still had levels of competition.
But you look at
Players that was challenging him. He may have been better, but Olajuwon was making him spin around like a rag doll at the time. So he had players that was
how many
on his level at
how
that
many
time.
rings does Shaq have compared to Olajuwon though?
Olajuwon has a couple. But again, look at the Houston team he had. You know, Shaq had, we could argue, one of the greatest players ever with Kobe. One of the greatest coaches ever with Phil Jackson. One of the best organizations ever with the Lakers. You know, Houston has never had all of those at the same time. So I'm not disputing Bill Russell as your top 3. I've just always had an issue with anyone who's that dominant over decades. You have to question what's the level of competition they're playing against.
He had some
And
competition.
and not saying he didn't, but that's just hard fetched to beat that.
Me and you will look some hardwood classics together. That's what we gonna do.
Okay. Who we having?
Ran out of time. We got the breakthrough, so wrap it up.
Okay. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more. We're gonna come back after the break and go over his top 2. So we'll be back with the catch up. I should have had this on here already.
Good job.
Oh. And I played the